Hi everyone, and welcome back to Who Ordered Coffee, and if this is your first episode, welcome! Hope you enjoyed the show. Today I'm your host, Elliot, and I am joined, as per usual, by Jonathon and Hanae.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
So before we get started in today's topic, I just wanted to do a little bit of a recapture of last week, and if we had any more closing thoughts on our video game episode. Basically, have video games further impacted your creativity over the past week? Have you played anything new? Any updates there at all?
Well, I did play Pokemon just last night. I attempted to beat the Elite Four for the third time, and unfortunately, I was beaten by Cynthia again.
Oh.
Her annoying Lucario got me. Once again. So it's back to the grindstone for me, and I'm afraid she better be ready. I'm coming back with everyone level 70. Because apparently everyone level 60 wasn't enough. So let's go. Level 70.
Wait, level 60 isn't enough?
Apparently not. Maybe I just have bad strategies. Maybe it's probably a strategy thing, but it's also like, you know what? I'm just gonna make everybody buff as hell, and then we're coming back.
Nice.
Wait, I have like a little throwback to when I was playing Pokemon Moon version. I forgot which one. And was it that one actually? Actually, I don't think it was that version. I think it was an even older version. Anyway, that wasn't the point. I went up to the Elite Four. For some reason, I only had one Pokemon. I didn't bother leveling up any other Pokemon except for my starter, which was the Fire Pig, which I can't quite remember what his name was.
Like Tepig. Tepig, yeah.
Yeah, Tepig. And I almost won. I was so close. I just lost to the Ghost type Pokemon.
I'm sorry. You expect us to be excited about the fact that you lost with your starter?
No, she almost won.
It was only one Pokemon.
You almost won.
She said she almost won.
But you still lost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, it was a kind of a cool experience because I'm like, wow, I got so close with just one Pokemon. And then I realized how to actually play the game properly.
I love that.
And I was like, oh, I have to go back and actually upgrade Pokemon because I was very stupid and I didn't notice.
Nah, you should have just got another level. Just add another level to your Tepig.
I should have. Maybe I'll go back to I was trying to find which game card it was. Be like, are you still there? You still my highest level Pokemon?
I love it.
Elliot, how about yourself?
I've had absolutely no continued throwbacks to games. I have been way too busy to do anything but continue to play Crash Bandicoot.
Fair enough.
So that's my life.
Well, Crash Bandicoot is the best life, honestly.
It's not bad. I finally defeated a level that I've been trying to defeat for 3 days straight, so that's a bonus.
I'm very proud of you. Actually, it seems like Elliot's the only one winning so far.
Yeah, definitely.
I've won. I won. It took 3 days, but I won.
Nice.
You did it.
Alright, so I want to do a little bit of a further throwback as well today, because obviously we're a couple episodes in now, and throw our minds back to 2 episodes ago, episode 1, our inaugural episode, and just if we had any more thoughts on the shows that we talked about there. So that episode was our musical theatre episode, not the Aladdin musical titled, and we talked a lot about 2 specific shows which showed up in our show notes, 6 and 107. And one of the big questions was, Jonathon, did you ever listen to 6?
So, episode 2, I unfortunately had to say that I did not listen to it, but I'm now glad to report that since that episode, I have in fact listened to 6, the musical.
Oh, wonderful.
Woot woot.
I was very, very impressed by it. It was extremely enjoyable experience, and I was actually disappointed that it wasn't longer, like the actual music, because I listened to the musical while I was working around the house, and I was disappointed that it wasn't, a longer musical. It wasn't like listening to like Hamilton or something where it's just like an hour and 40 minutes of music. It was unfortunately only about 45 minutes, thereabouts. But, I mean, all of it was quality. So that was really good.
Nice.
Really enjoyed that.
I'm going to take a quick moment to talk about 6 because it is still one of my favorites because it's such a bop. So good. But besides the music, I think we should all talk about how amazing those outfits are, and it's so sparkly.
Yeah, it's like 90% of your outfit inspiration is from that show.
I think actually for my first recital, I definitely did take a huge inspiration with my sparkly jacket.
Yeah.
That's how I got main idea, because when I saw that, I was like, I have to do something similar. I can't exactly do the same thing, but anyway, I wanted to say that I would absolutely, out of all 6 characters, I would love to wear the one that survived outfit, because that is to die for. Sorry, no pun intended. But it's so gorgeous and I'm so obsessed. Okay, that's my rant done.
I love that energy. I'm trying to remember which one is the survived outfit.
It's one where she's wearing royal blue colors, and it's the one with like long pants.
Oh, like the pantsuit kind of situation.
Yeah, it's almost a pantsuit, and it just looks stunning. I mean, they all look stunning, but that one's just my personal favorite.
That's fair. It's very you.
It is.
I could see that with some pink trim instead, and you would just wear that daily.
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Take a few. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say that I haven't actually watched the performance of it. I have listened to it because I listened to the album. I almost just still going to watch it. I was going to watch it before this conversation, but yeah, I'm now really curious to see definitely like all of the costumes in performance and not just, pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yes, go watch.
Well, one of the good things about doing it for Six is, from my knowledge, they're pretty encouraging of filming because they frame it like a concert. So it's film some segments and stuff like that. So there's quite a few, I think, clips on YouTube and stuff that you could probably find of it. So yeah, that's a good decision to go watch Six now that you've listened to it. It's a good, fun show.
That is your homework for this week, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Now that you've experienced the music.
Also, we should all definitely trek to Sydney, right?
Oh yeah,
let's do it.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go watch this.
It's only a 7-day quarantine now. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's nothing. We can watch the video, the bad versions online, and then we can really get the true experience of Six in person with COVID happening as well. And you're just like, wow.
100%.
Everything.
Perfect.
So where are we going?
Perfect. All right, well, with plans to be set in stone, I'm going to skedaddle us onto our topic for the evening or morning or daytime or, midnight, whenever you're actually listening to this. So I went a bit different with my topic today. I decided to push us into a slightly more abstract direction, I think is the correct word for that one. So the topic is, or the questions to be answered, what is one event or choice in your life that could have easily gone the other way? And where do you think you'll be now in that alternate timeline? And furthermore, do you regret the decision you made? So a bit heavy, but also possibly not. Who knows?
It's a fascinating question.
I just think it'd be interesting and a good way to find out a little bit more about my good friends. So, Jonathan, do you want to start us off with your no?
Oh, no, I said hello, and I certainly absolutely can. I absolutely can.
Wonderful.
I would love to just talk about this with you guys. So
imagine if in another alternate universe, Jonathan did say no.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
He just shuts Elliot down.
Right
and we're just both still in shock though.
Yeah, in another universe, yeah. I said no.
Wow, I really like your topic so far, Jonathan. Good job.
So for me, I've got two ones. One is partly more of a joke, and the other one is more it's a bit more sincere. The joke one is that when I was there. Oh, okay. Actually, depends on how you take this joke. This one's as in like, this one is like. When I was a kid, there was this one. We were hanging out somewhere in Perth, and I think we were just like looking at houses and stuff, just like walk as in on like a walk, and we were just like checking out houses from the outside and be like, oh wow, that looks like a cool house. That looks like a cool house. I can't remember what area this was, but it seemed like a nice place. Anyway, as a younger kid, younger kids be the way they are. They just like running around, super energetic and hyperactive. I remember just running and jumping off things. And there was this one point where I saw this thing that I thought I could jump off. But by that point in the day, I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired. Maybe I won't jump off this one. And then I walk up to this thing. It looks like a little low wall, if you will. I walk up to that little low wall, and then I realize it's the edge of like a very long drop. So in an alternate universe, I jumped off that thing and potentially broke my legs. So yeah, so I don't know what would happen after that. I probably would have, then had to spend a few months in rehab or something. But I mean, I say that as a slightly, that's the sort of like, oh, that's a dumb alternate reality. So that's like slightly my joke.
That would be very dumb. Yeah, that's the alternate reality. We're just a little stupid.
A little bit more. I mean, I was still stupid because I was
for me, it'd be a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah, I almost, yes, exactly. Because the younger me still thought about jumping off that thing, but didn't realize it was a long drop and just happened to be tired at that point. My more serious thing. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was going to say, it's a good thing you ran around like way beforehand.
Exactly.
Until you found that jump, because you still might have done it.
Exactly. That's the thing. I still could have done it. In an alternate reality, I absolutely did. And sometimes I think back to that day and I'm like, because it wasn't actually that long of a drop, but I remember as a younger kid also thinking back on that day like when I was a few years later, when I was like, I could have died then. But also now I'm like, no, you would have been fine. It would have hurt a lot. You might have broken your legs, but you wouldn't have died. But still.
What a wonderful story.
Yes. And then my more serious answer, well, not serious answer, but like more sincere, if you will, is sometimes I think about the day I met Hanae. And how, because that on that day was when the head of composition, so he had asked, I believe, Hanae, you tell her, as he just sort of dragged you into...
Well, I didn't know what it was. It was under a very fancy name. And actually, it's funny you bring this up, because I was just thinking about this yesterday, actually. Which is very wholesome, and I think you read my mind. So, in this alternate universe, I think Jonathon reads our minds. But do continue.
Yeah, no, but so there's this little orchestra thing. We won't go into detail about that, but the point is sometimes I think back onto that day. I'm like, if Hanae hadn't been dragged to that, I wouldn't have met Hanae, and then we wouldn't have become friends with Hanae, because we had this. I remember the moment I was like, yeah, hey, I can be friends with Hanae, is when we had to play really weird things on the string parts. And I remember just looking across at her and seeing her make funny faces at the music. I'm like, yes, she understands how weird this is. At this point, I'd been there for a year. I was like, nobody else seems to realize how wacky this is. but the reason I say this is, because I met Hanae through that, and I was like, oh, this is someone I can be friends with, because we're bonding over shared pain. But yeah, no. Like, but when you meet people, it's like, oh, it's not that big of a... Usually you wouldn't think it's that big of a deal, right? But of course, this is particularly special for me because it then connects into Springboard. And I imagine part of the reason this podcast does exist is because of the little friendship that we all share in this little group called Springboard. So, yeah, I imagine, like, there's a few things that had to have fallen into place. But, the same could be said for, meeting any one of you guys in the group, Aaron and also Elliot. I have, like, fond memories of how those all fell into place as well. So meeting any one of you guys could have, or not meeting any one of you guys could have created an entirely different multiverse. And I wonder what you guys make of that.
I love it.
I was going to say, it's funny you bring that up, because I'll just take a little bit of my time, if you don't mind, Elliot. That my multiverse was that I could have went to another uni. I was considering going to another uni as well as doing another course in...
That's right.
Wait, can we do name drops of the unis we went to? Or do we want to keep that secret?
It's up to you personally.
Actually, I will decide. It will be called Charlie Brown and Snoopy. So I could have went to the Charlie Brown University instead of Snoopy. Because I was auditioning for both and I still hadn't made a decision. Yeah, and both unis were actually, like, contacting me. I think Charlie Brown actually contacted me by phone and, like, actually asked me to come, but because of my ATAR score, I don't think they would have wanted me in. But yeah, so I could have went to another uni and I would not have met you guys at all.
Sad face.
Damn.
It is very sad. I wouldn't have no idea who you are. You guys probably would have met because you're in the same course at least. Right. But if I went to another uni, I would never probably see you.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Damn. Expand on that for me. Give me some more juice on that. Give me, if you had made that decision and gone to Charlie Brown, what would be your... Where do you think you would be now? Like, what would you have studied the same thing? And obviously that was the decision you made like 4 or 5 years ago. So that's a lot of time for personal growth and change. Like, what different things do you think would be about you, like, now?
I think very much I would have just played a lot of classical music, which would have probably killed me in the end. Because that's why Snoopy, I'm glad I picked Snoopy because of, like, all the different other genres of music that we get to experience.
You're like, Equatorial, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my gosh, I have so much scarred memories from that. But I probably would have not ever been able to study composition as well. So I would just be a performer, I reckon. A very boring, sad performer. No, I'm joking.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing all the things that I'm doing today. So I wouldn't be making music with you guys. I wouldn't be writing music, probably, or maybe very little music. My recitals might have not included fairy lights or sparkly outfits because one of the Charlie Brown students who came to my last recital was kind of shocked with how over the top it was visually. So I think my recitals would have been very like downplayed and almost boring, to say the least. Like, I don't think it would have been an exciting or fun experience for me in the end. Like, yeah, I think I wouldn't be myself today, to be honest. You wouldn't know fairy lights.
Profound, yeah. No fairy
No
lights.
sparkly
Fairy lights are
outfits.
part of your identity.
I don't know, but like, I probably wouldn't have
Wouldn't have been able to
put them-
express it, yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have like decorated the hall.
Yes,
It just would have
probably.
been the very pristine, almost, I don't want to say snobby, but I can't think of a better word at the moment.
Well, actually, I do want to point out, like, amongst the instrumental recitals, your one was probably, yeah, definitely one of the most flashiest.
Yes.
I actually can't remember if anybody else decorated the auditorium. One student had a costume change, a few costume changes.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Oh, I
yeah,
remember that.
Some people had like multiple guest artists with them on stage and all that, but I don't know if anybody did fairy lights. I think you were the only person.
There was one other decoration, one other recital that had decoration stuff. It was a percussion recital, so anyone
Of
who's
course.
familiar with that.
Of course, I was in it.
Percussionists, my icons.
Yes. Yep, so that one had a lot of, like, I can't remember if this year was the lanterns and stuff, or if that was earlier this year, or last
That
year,
was
sorry,
the
or
third year, so I'm pretty sure for that one.
third year, but this percussionist always goes out with that kind of stuff, like, very similar energy, but less sparkly.
I think in this alternate universe, I would have been a lot more quiet, a lot more conservative, and very in myself. So I wouldn't be, and I don't think, like, you guys have made me grow on as well, and I feel a lot more confident and comfortable with talking to people.
Oh, that's good.
And I think if I went to the Charlie Brown, I would have been a very quiet person who is still afraid. I mean, I still get like panics of talking to people, but I still make myself do it. And I think if I went there, I wouldn't. I'd probably run away and hide.
Fair.
So I think I would have been a very quiet version of myself.
It's a very, very fair statement. Jonathan, did you have anything more to elaborate on yours? Because obviously Hanae's
yes.
talked a little bit
I'm
about...
sorry.
That's good.
No.
No.
Don't apologise. That's how talking... that's how conversation works, Hanae.
Oh,
I know
I'm
that we've told you a lot
I'm gonna
about
write
it.
this down. Do you have any more points on how to converse?
Yeah,
No, sorry.
take some-
Damn it.
I have 0 points on conversation except for back and forth.
Okay. I like that though. All right.
Great, wonderful. So, Jonathan, did you have any more on either of your topics of who you think you would be as a person? Do you think that, I don't know, even in like your kind of funny scenario of like if you had broken both your legs by jumping off this cliff, do you think that like it would have, I don't know, affected your piano skills or anything because for a couple of months you wouldn't have been able to keep up with pedals? Or do you think that it would have helped you more because you would have been forced to play violin more often? Like, do you think that in the long run it would have changed things or made things worse? Like,
I think it
what's
would have.
your...
So I think it would have made me more careful. I think it would have definitely made me.
I don't know if that's possible.
You know, assuming I didn't die from that little jump, it definitely would have made me a more cautious person. There'd be a very solid foundational reason for me to have that kind of personality shift, if you will. It's interesting when you say, you know, maybe affecting the way I practice. You know, I hadn't really thought of that. I suppose it would, in that sense that I wouldn't have been able to use my legs, but I probably would have been able to still keep, you know, practicing with the hands. And I don't know about switching. I don't know about playing violin more, but it definitely could have been something that a younger me may have used as an excuse to get out of playing piano. Obviously,
Or
yeah.
I have a little side point you could always delve down. You could have become a parkour person because you realized I was great at jumping off and falling.
Maybe in an alternate reality, I jumped off, realized it was a long fall, but I landed and did a roll. You know, like the parkour roll.
I'm so glad we know the terminology.
Yeah, did you know?
Yeah, of course.
Parkour. But I would have. Yeah, maybe in alternate reality, I'm a parkour. I'm a professional.
You're a professional parkourist.
Parkourist. There you go. Yeah.
I love that.
That'd be interesting to see a Jonathon doing parkour.
I think that'd be a choice.
It'd be a choice, eh?
You say like you'd be more cautious as a human being, and I'm trying to think of any situation where you could be more cautious as a human being.
Yeah, I think that's incorrect for your alternate universe because that is your universe.
That is your current universe.
And it is great because you can't. It's always good to be cautious, but I don't think you can become any more cautious. I agree with Elliot.
I think what it is I'd become wiser.
Ooh.
I'd become wiser, I think. And then there's like things that happened in the past year have taught me that being cautious doesn't necessarily prevent any pain. But the pain does make you wiser, which then allows you to prevent future pain. So being cautious doesn't necessarily mean you're safe. So
Smart.
So basically, you're saying on that day when you almost but didn't quite jump off this ledge, cliff, whatever, you learnt by sight and not by example, and thus were never able to experience the knowledge and wisdom that's gained through pain.
in a way, yes. Yes, actually, yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not saying that, like, experience
It's the catalyst of your life.
learning through pain is the only way to learn, but I'm just saying that, yeah, like, whether or not that would have made me more cautious. Oh, now it sounds like I'm backtracking what I said before, didn't I? Yeah, so if I jumped off and broke my legs, yeah, it probably would have made me more cautious. But then becoming more cautious having not done that, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of both going on. Learning through...
That's fair.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to ask a more wholesome question on that side. Your other one, of course, was basically not meeting Hanae.
Yeah.
And my hot take is, what do you think you'd be like now if you had never met Hanae? And secondly, for a sick burn, if you want, do you wish you'd never met Hanae?
Ooh. I love these questions, Elliot.
Really throwing me under the bus here. No.
All right. I'm ready to hear this.
So first part of that question
Who would you be if you'd never met Hanae? Like, what do you think would change? What has Hanae helped you with in life, in yourself, I guess, is the flip side of that question.
The flip side of the question, yes. I think definitely if I hadn't met Hanae, Springboard wouldn't be the 4-person group that it is. So it'd be a very different experience. I always say that, like, Hanae brings a lot of the chaotic, but we absolutely love this. But Hanae brings a lot of the chaotic, fun energy to the group. Not that everybody else isn't fun, but whenever Hanae's around, things are loud.
Things are loud. Chaotic.
Things are loud. Yeah, exactly. Things are fun.
When everyone else is boring.
When Hanae's not here, things are fun, but things are not chaotic. But when Hanae's here, things are chaotic, and we absolutely love that. I can't overstate that. We love the chaotic energy. So I think, definitely the dynamic of the group wouldn't be the same for sure. It would be worse without her. And then do I wish that I hadn't met Hanae? Absolutely not. I am very, very glad I met Hanae, and definitely also equally as glad I met everybody in Springboard. I know it sounds like I'm putting a lot of like emphasis on Hanae, but I think the only reason I do that is because I did meet Hanae first. Because I pretty much met Hanae on like day 2 of second year. So it was like as early as you could get it. Actually, no, it was on a Monday though. So that would have been day 1. It was on a
Monday, but I
met Hanae on day 1.
Yeah, I think it was day 1 of week 1 for me.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I was coming to this class and I thought I was going to learn something really interesting about composition.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. I do want to answer the question slightly differently in the sense that what would it be like if I hadn't met her? So... like, if I hadn't... So if I hadn't met Hanae, I imagine... Well, Hanae showed a lot of kindness, and it's sort of... like, a kindness in ways that I didn't realise were... It's not that I didn't realise they were possible. It's more like kindness in the way that I wouldn't have naturally gravitated towards. Just, like, the sort of being watchful of other people and being observant of people beyond yourself. And that kind of, showing, like, just care for other people around you in a very active kind of way. That kind of behavior is definitely rubbed off on me. Hanae is very much dare I say? Can I describe you as a mother hen like character? Can I say that? Is that
Fuck.
Hanae is the mum friend.
It's bad. I've been called a mum as well of my friend groups.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I don't know if I can say it, but like honestly,
like the mother hen is new.
Like. I don't know, because you look out for your friends. It's a very lovely thing, and it's definitely
I would agree with this.
Coming out of the receiving end on that, being like, I've noticed myself trying to be more like that as well. And that can only be good, for let's go big. It can only be good for humanity, I mean, just to be more kind, just kindness. We need more kindness in the world. It can never be too much of it. So, yeah, to go very profound with that, I think Hanae's made people be kinder.
You guys are making me blush.
What a lovely sentiment to take a pause on. I do love that, though. That is very, very accurate, I'd say. I can speak very similar to that. So we are going to do our game segment, our first half of the game segment today. So I've decided to go a bit of a different route and decided to try trip all of you up, including myself, by doing a little trivia section for our game section today.
Ooh.
Very exciting. So the way that it's going to be done is... So it'll be one person at a time. So Hanae, if we started with you,
Okay.
I would ask you a question, and you just have to either pass or answer the question, basically. If you don't know it, pass, and I'll read the next question. There's 60 seconds, and you've got to answer as many questions correctly as you can.
Quick question before we start, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Is it going to be like trivial facts or like things like anything? Like that
it's about pop culture.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, wait, should I be prepared for maths or something? Because I'm going to get all of them wrong.
There are so many questions here that I've got, and we're not going to be able to get through them all. And on top of that, looking at these, I wouldn't be able to tell you a single answer.
Wonderful.
So, this is very much a...
If you know it, you say it, yeah.
If you know it, you say
Can we guess?
You can 100% guess. Just keep in mind, 60 seconds. I'll start with Hanae, and it'll be 1 60-second slot for her, and then we'll tally up the points, and we'll come back to you either later or straight after, depending on how I'm feeling in the moment.
Sounds
Easy.
good. I am so ready. Crackety crack.
Crackety crack.
Wonderful. I'll try to be as clear and precise with these questions as possible. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, timing starts now. What are the names of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's kids?
I think there's one that's called North. And
I'm going to give you a point for that.
hell yeah. And that's all I know. I don't know if they have any other children. Wait.
Wonderful.
Or I could go north, east, and south because I'm pretty sure.
No.
Damn it.
No. That you tried.
Thank
and
you.
That's what that is.
Cool.
What is Joe Exotic, aka the Tiger King's real name?
Joe Mama? Okay, next. Pass.
Whose parody Prince George Instagram account inspired the upcoming HBO Max series, The Prince?
What?
I have no idea. Pass.
How many kids does Angelina Jolie have?
I think she has 3.
Oh, happy that.
Or 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it 2?
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope, it was none of those.
Okay.
Who wrote that HBO's Big Little Lies, the book that HBO's Big Little Lies is based on?
J.R.R. Tolkien. Keep going.
Incorrect.
Yes.
I am so sorry. That is time.
Okay, how did I do?
You got technically none correct.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I got the very first
But
question.
I'm giving you North.
Thank you.
I'm giving you North as 1 point.
Thank you.
Because there is a North in there.
I will take that, and I thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and that was fun. Let's do this again.
You're
That
so
was also
welcome.
a lot of panic because I feel like I knew not a word that like some of those questions. It's like,
Well,
what?
if it
This
makes
is
you feel
pop
any
culture?
better, if it makes you feel any better, I would have gotten 0 because I didn't know a single one.
Oh, so in the alternate universe, I am winning. Wah.
You're still winning in this universe.
Fair. Then I win in 2 universes. Actually, Elliot,
Hi.
I would like to take this moment, if you don't mind. What would be your alternate universe question? Like, what is one event or choice that actually could have went the other way?
So I've been thinking about this a lot lately, which is weird and dumb because I don't like to think. But the one that I actually thought of in my decisions, choices, etc., was my vocal lessons, which I know sounds kind of weird, but basically I started singing when I was 7, 8, something like that, and I started for a year, and then I did another year, and then I took, I think, 2 terms off or something like that, because it was through the school, you know how it is. And I was given the choice again to either continue with them or to stop, and I continued with them after that. But I remember being unsure about it, if I wanted to really go down that and like keep up with that because I found it fun but also like frustrating, and it was a whole thing. And in the end I was like, you know what, no, let's just continue with it. Like I wasn't getting anywhere with any of the other instruments I was trying, so I was like, yeah, this works, this is chill. And if we look at that in the trajectory of my life, huge snowball effect, right? Like
Yes, definitely.
from like, you know, starting vocal lessons to jumping into music theatre stuff to doing classical voice stuff to back to musical theatre stuff and writing music and all this stuff, my entire life just kind of like the entire like timeline really kind of spurs, not really from that singular moment, but it can be seen from that, if that makes any sense. Like so I always just wonder, what if I didn't? What if I just hadn't kept up with music in that sense and had just gone a completely different direction? So yeah, I was kind of like, what direction would that see for me? And the kind of two opposing answers are doing art, so like painting and stuff like that was like that I was really into as well. And it's like that I did through all of my high school, and you know, I graduated high school with art as one of my top ATAR subject kind of things. And the other one was, which I stopped halfway through high school, but mostly because of the commitments to other things, was like sciences. And I was really interested for a long time in physics and astrophysics and that kind of side. I can gladly say now that I would never be smart enough to do anything like that.
But in an alternate reality,
I have zero knowledge of math. But in an alternate reality, I am out there as an astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist Elliot.
Oh, you could be the very first Avenger in in the alternate universe.
Who says this one can't be? This Elliot right here is already an Avenger. It's definitely.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true.
Step aside.
I mean, yeah, because he's Spider-Man.
Jonathon.
Spider-Man.
I'm outing your identity on this podcast.
Wait,
Elliot is Spider-Man.
Jonathon is my Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm staying on the sidelines for this one.
Can I be Mysterio?
Yeah, I don't want to be Jake Gyllenhaal, but I'll take Mysterio.
Great.
So one of these performed in an amazing musical, and the other one didn't. So
that's true. But I also do like the idea of being entirely CG and not entirely real.
Don't we all?
Actually, I have a random question. Kind of relating to what we're talking about, but almost not. If we could be in any type of universe, like for example, the Marvel universe or DC or whatever, which one would you actually pick?
Like to visit, you mean, or like to?
Yeah, let's say visit. I don't think we would probably live there or survive, depending on what we pick. But yeah, what would you guys pick?
Yeah, I would really like to visit the Star Wars universe.
Oh, yes.
If that would be possible, because it's such a wide galaxy, you know. This
is true. You could visit a lot of places.
Visit a lot of places, but then again, so same with the MCU. MCU is so vast and it's getting bigger and bigger with every installment. But I don't know. Yeah, I've always fancied the idea of like just seeing, I don't know, robots and I mean that makes it sound like I don't understand Star Wars. I'm trying to like say like. I mean,
no, you just want to see the robots, nothing else.
The robots, the light speed ships, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then, you know, when I rewatch some of the shows and movies, you know, there's always some kind of civil war. There's always some kind of, you know, galactic war. There's always some kind of like a revolution going on, and you're like, oh, this is just unrest for decades.
That's why I said visit instead of live.
Yeah, I mean the only reason I would visit,
long.
the only reason I would visit if I was is if I were in any way force sensitive. You know, just be kind of cool to be able to like use the force for a hot second and then just you know, dip on out of there. But that also then implies that you have a greater responsibility to the galaxy if you're a force sensitive. If you can use the force, but that's too much responsibility. So the only reason I would visit would be to be able to use the Force. But if I could use the Force, I'd have to stay. And you know what? No thanks.
What a take back on your own answer.
I know, right? What if you were a Sith then? Then you don't have to have the greater. If you become a Sith, you don't have all that responsibility.
Oh no, but you got to rule the Empire. You know, you got to be part
become a rogue Sith. Then this is your alternate universe, Jonathon. You don't have to become
you know what?
A storybook character that has written in rules.
Maybe maybe not rogue Sith. Let's say let's take the path that there's there's a character called Ahsoka Tano. I don't know if you guys know Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
She goes on an alternative path, which is neither Jedi and of course not Sith either, but it's like, neutral, where she's a powerful Force user who wields white lightsabers, pledging allegiance to neither side. But there you go.
She's awesome.
I'd do that. Yeah.
Where would you go?
I have two answers for this one.
Acceptable. Go ahead.
The first one is the Pokemon universe.
Yes.
That would be very cool.
My reasoning for that is because there are hardly any civil wars. There's hardly any fighting. I'm never the one fighting. It's always the animals. There's a bunch of real cool animals around, and that's about it. That's my reasoning. And also everything is paid for you.
Honestly,
you get
that is
inheritance
the coolest answer.
and money all the time. You don't actually have to pay for sleeping arrangements or anything or food. It's all just for your animals. And I'm like, if I just have to pay to give my animals the best life, fine. That's cool with me.
That is an awesome answer. I'm not gonna lie. I
Thank
really
you.
like that.
Would Dot?
My second answer is Dot would be in the universe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
100%.
would Dot be with you, your cat?
Yeah, Dot is
She would-
Elliot's starter.
100%. Dot is my
Imagine a
starter.
level 100 Dot. It just looks exactly the same,
Yeah.
but she's just extremely powerful.
She just does a
She already
little
is.
swat with her paw and then wipes out half the competition.
She already
then-
does.
So cute. And what is your second answer?
My second answer is Nintendogs.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Yes.
Just live in a universe where
Very
you always look after
It's
puppies.
a very similar answer. Yeah, just chilling with the dogs. And again, you don't have to pay for anything except for stuff for your dogs. And I'm about that. That's the life that I want to live.
Oh my gosh, so much respect.
That
I
is
love
very
both your
wholesome.
answers. But
Thank you
honestly,
so much.
Elliot's answers are something that you could actually survive in.
Yes, I thought about that quite heavily. I was like, do I want to die in this universe? No. So yeah, Hanae, what about you?
Well, I'm definitely probably going to die because I'd pick Middle Earth.
Oh.
So it depends on where
Of
I
course you
land up.
would.
No, just go to the
Of
Shire.
course,
you
but
You live in the Shire. You'll be fine.
I could live in the Shire. Or I could go to Mordor and climb the giant tower.
You just spawn at Mordor. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Only for 2 seconds, maybe half a minute.
You
so I
just
could actually
spawn
see
there.
it.
And you'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Actually, no. I would actually go to Rivendell. Because that is
You'd be
actually
fairly
a safe place
You'd be safe.
for anyone.
You'd be safe, yeah.
And it looks so comfortable and pretty.
That's right.
And it would be probably more relaxing. So it'd probably be a spa day, to be honest.
Yes, it probably would. Now, I have a question about Rivendell. Do you think there would constantly be music being serenaded, or would you would it just be silent? I have to imagine the Rivendell theme is constantly being played somewhere, live.
No, it
and you can never
100%
find
is.
it. You can never find who's actually performing, but you can always hear it.
Yeah.
There's always soothing
absolutely accurate. There's always that theme going on. You will never find who's singing it. And then sometimes there are other people who are just playing harps or flutes that accidentally it mixes in with the music so well. And you're just what is happening? So I agree. But also I want to go with Elliot to the Pokemon and Nintendogs universe as well. So I
Join
think
me.
it's-
We
at
can be
least I would be alive.
We can be one of the twins on the road that you have to battle.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh my gosh. That sounds awesome.
I wouldn't even be mad if we got defeated.
You wouldn't even be the trainer?
The trainer's cool, but then you have to take down the whole
Oh, yeah, the crime syndicate that's
rogue.
in the region.
Yeah, and can I really be bothered? I'd rather just be one of the Elite Four and just kind of chill. All they do all game is literally chill up in their freaking tower all the time, chill with their Pokemon and each other,
Yeah.
and then fight one kid over and over again.
Some
This
kids do
is
that.
true. And that kid is called Jonathan.
Yes, exactly. We're bringing us full circle. Yeah, Cynthia's just still up there. Okay, all right, number 4, let's go. Round 4, let's go. This new.
We'll have to check in next week to see if Jonathan has beaten Cynthia as well.
It'll happen. Mark my words.
I love it. Great. All right, so I think it's about time for Jonathan, your little quiz segment,
Yes,
your little trivia section. Are you ready?
I am ready, as I'll ever be.
Oh yeah. All right. I actually think that you might get a few of these correct, and I'm a bit worried about it.
Oh no. But good luck anyway.
All right.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Who did Forbes name the youngest self-made billionaire ever in 2019?
Elon Musk. I don't know. Pass.
No. How many times did Ross Geller get divorced on Friends?
Pass. I have no idea. I've never
Who
watched
was the
it.
first Bachelorette
I knew that, and I
in
haven't watched
2003?
Sorry, what was the question?
Who was the first Bachelorette in 2003?
Pass.
Who did Michael Scott hit with company property on company property in The Office?
Oh, I have watched The Office.
I know.
Oh, no. Not pass. I can't remember right now.
Which movie won the first official Best Picture Academy Award?
Aaron would know this. No idea. Pass.
Which actor voiced both Darth Vader and the Lion King's Mufasa?
James Earl Jones.
Yes!
Hey, I got one.
What modern day item made a cat? No.
Wait, what?
Nah, you're done. That's it.
Oh,
Time's
that's
off.
it? I got 1 point. At least I got something.
You got 1 point.
Whew.
Jonathan, I'll shake your hand. We're both tied in this competition.
You're
Virtual shake.
tied in the competition. You both
Virtual
got
shake.
exactly one.
Didn't Ross Geller get divorced 3 times?
You're correct. Do you know who to?
His first wife was a lesbian, and I think her name was Carol.
Yep.
He also married Rachel in Vegas.
Yep. And the third one?
And is it Emily?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to give you a
Well, he
point.
didn't marry her, did he?
I'm just going to give you a point because you got all 3 correct. So,
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
those are the
Saskia
3.
would be so proud because I actually technically haven't watched Friends. I've watched a little bit, but like, very proud. Saskia, I hope you're
I'm
listening to this.
I'm going to give you a point for that. Like, I did not
Yes.
actually expect you to get all of those correct.
Hi, Saskia.
Everyone wave at Saskia.
Incredible.
I'm so happy.
Okay. Do we have any closing thoughts for the day? I mean, we've done our quiz. We've answered our question pretty thoroughly. Anyone got any other additions? Any other thoughts? Any other questions?
Elliot, I do have a very quick question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
I want to follow up on episode 1. We very briefly spoke about 107, this new punk rock musical.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Unfortunately, Hanae and I did not get to see this, but I believe you have.
I have.
Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, I do actually. So we talked briefly in episode 1 about the show that was coming to the Blue Room Theatre in Perth, written and created by people of colour in non-binary and female identities. And it was incredible. I went and saw it at the Blue Room. It was such an amazing show to witness. It was very about our home in the sense of like placements. Like it was very Perth located. To the point where the person I was with seeing it was literally like, that is the bus route that I take. Like this
Wow.
is, I get on this bus constantly, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
The characters were so well fleshed out. They had such a good presence on stage. All the actors were just incredibly switched on. We had a couple instances during the show, however. I went on a night where there was a fire alarm that went off, so we all had to evacuate 10 minutes before the end of the show. But then we all went back in. Yeah, it was very awkward. We went back in, and then in the final number, the sound cut for the backing tracks. So they just sung the entire thing a cappella.
Oh, wow.
And they were just having, like,
Good on them.
they obviously were struggling with the harmonies and being like, what are we doing? But they were just having the time of their lives, just being like, we're just getting through it. Like, this is what's happening now. The actors were just, like, so onto it and just having such a fun time. It was a really amazing thing to experience and to watch. And with the story as it was, it made the ending feel so connected and so lovely. It's unfortunately not playing anymore.
Yeah.
It's had its season. I'm hoping that one day it gets remounted somewhere, or that it can be filmed and put up somewhere to be shared, because it was just such an amazing show, such an incredible piece of art. I would very much, go support local theatre, go support local musicians and musical theatre writers. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
These actors are people who I know struggle to get cast in professional shows, but they're just as good as other people. They're even better than some people that I've seen perform in shows, professionally and stuff like that. Like, these are amazing artists, and they deserve that platform. Yeah, so that's my take. I think that both of you would have found it interesting in different ways. I think that you probably would have been a bit uncomfortable in certain sections, specifically surrounding the more sexually explicit text and references and stuff. But I think that it would have been something that you would have connected with quite a lot, especially with some of the characters in there.
Wow, that's really quite wonderful.
Yeah, it was a very good show.
Definitely a shame that I couldn't make it, but it sounds very meaningful, very good for the local musical scene.
Yes, definitely. 100%. So let's just finish up today
Yeah.
after that little fun little section and say, hey everyone, are you drinking anything at the moment? And if so, what is it?
Hanae, why did you go first?
Well, I finished mine quite a while ago, actually. Not gonna lie. I had a hot coffee and it was very enjoyable. Thank you.
I'm glad. Was there any special kind of coffee?
No, it's just my usual. We always nickname it mix. I don't know why we call it that or where. Like my parents just call it that. It's very much not called that. It is a French vanilla latte, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
But it's nicknamed our mix. So
Incredible.
that's a little fun fact about that.
Jonathan, what about you?
Okay, so this week I am, in fact, drinking coffee. So last week, unfortunately, I did not I did not have a coffee. So this week I was like, I'm gonna make up to that. So I have brought myself a coffee. I have finished it though, but it was, and I took a photo of the box because I wasn't gonna remember the title. It was okay. So it's the Nescafe Creamy and Frothy 98% sugar-free mocha. New richer
Ooh.
taste. We are not sponsored by Nescafe.
We are not sponsored.
But it does sound very fancy nonetheless. Elliot, do tell us, are you drinking anything?
I am. Unlike the past 2 weeks where I have had the Brazilian latte, today I am drinking my salted caramel latte.
It's back.
Oh.
It's back.
Are you happy?
I am beyond happy about the fact that I have my caramel latte with me.
I'm very happy to hear that because as soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's your drink.
That's my go-to. I love me a caramel. Caramel cappuccino, the best. Caramel latte from like powdered substances. It's a close second. So we're going pretty strong.
Very nice.
And I think we all did it today. We all had a coffee drink.
We
So
all did
well
it.
done.
I think that's the first time.
Took us 3 episodes, but we made it.
We made it. It's never going to happen again.
Will it happen again? Who knows?
Well, I think we all had coffee in the first one. In the first episode, we all had coffee. It's just the second one I didn't have one.
Well, it's felt like forever.
It feels like ages. We'll find out if we have coffee again next week on our next episode of Who Ordered Coffee. Thank you for tuning in. I'm with Hanae and Jonathan. I'm your host, Elliot. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.